Hello! The seminars in the academic year of 2024 to 2025. There is going to be again a series of seminars. In this academic year, we are going to talk about the individuation process. So there's going to be a series of online seminars each month, one Saturday from 4:30 to 6:30 p.m. Central European Time, and there will be a series of topics that all comment and explore both individuality, individuation process, and its relationship with the collective. So I just want to give you a brief outline of this series, and in the first seminar, which will take place on the 5th of October 2024, we are going to talk about necessity and free will, or fate and free will, the very old relationship between what is predestined and what is actually voluntary in our both individual and collective lives. And we are going to look at some very ancient mythological images of fate, like the three Moiras, or the three Mires, as they would say nowadays in Greek language, in relation to what is the free will. And we are going to see how this relationship historically changes throughout the ages, the old era, Middle Ages, and the new era, and how they become the very archetypes of an individuum and the collective. We are also going to look at the cosmological archetypes, planets, and zodiac archetypes of fate and free will. We are also going to work practically with the IPAL method in the latter part of the seminar. In the November, I have a little reminder here. November seminar will be the symptom as a symbol of the individuation process. How a symptom can be an incentive, but also an inevitability of life. For unless we would be encouraged by our symptoms, hopefully, and not just perceive them as a nuisance, we would not be undertaking some work on ourselves in depth, and we would not be doing the effort of working on ourselves in order to individuate. This is going to be followed by our December seminar on individuation series, which will be the philosophical foundation of the individuation process. We know that from the times of Plato and Aristotle, individuality and individual in relation to the universal was a very important theme which stretched into the very medieval times, and it wasn't until the new era or the age of Aquarius the man when this theme actually matured in the very notion of an individual and the individuation process. Our January seminar will be on identity, identification, and self-portraiture. Self-portraiture has a long history as well. How do we portray our own identity, not only in paintings, which we are going also to be working upon on some medieval and new era paintings of a self-portraiture, art of self-portraiture, self-portraits that depict the individuality of their artists, but also self-portraiture in terms of how do we build images of ourselves, important others, of the world, of God, as well as of the collective. And we're going to see how this, with the exploration of our birth charts or cosmograms, we can actually enhance the understanding of our own identity. In our February seminar, which will take place on February 15th, 2025, we are going to talk about human wholeness and the 4 dimensions of human wholeness: spirit, body, the soul, and the personal mindset, and how can we study our own individuality with the help of our cosmograms in terms of the 4 elements that correspond to these 4 dimensions of human being development and individual life in relation to the collective. In our March seminar, which is our 6th seminar in the series, we are going to talk about the individual image of God. Now, an individual image of God has to do with our very own individual being. So how does my individual being relate to the otherness, to alterity, to something that is equally myself, but is not direct part of my own consciousness, ego, and self, but is still nevertheless part of my own individuation process? That is the sacred space that we take into account and try to build a dialogue with in order to understand our individuation process. And we are going to look at the astrological sun, Leo, and other significators of the individual image of God. And then we have 4 more seminars, April, May, June, and July, where we are going to work systematically through the psychic dimensions relating to Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces dimension of individuation, the bodily dimension of individuation as it pertains to Capricorn, Taurus, Virgo, to the intuitive dimension or spiritual dimension that relates to Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, and finally to what I call the secondary thinking cogito, or the personal mindset that we all develop as we individuate. We all start with collective notions of everything that is. We are being taught in our school, in our families, in our immediate environment, in our childhood, youth, as well as young adulthood, when we still believe in the collective truths, and they are important. But as we individuate, we also develop our own experiences and living experiences, which are quite subjective, and they influence our mind. So we developed our personal mindset, or the secondary thinking cogito, as I call it, as a product of our own individuation process. And we're going to see how the archetypes of Aquarius, Gemini, and Libra inform us about both the collective primary thinking cogito and the secondary, i.e. individual thinking cogito or individual mindset. So we are going to have much fun in these seminars, and you are welcome to come and share with us and work with us, and in this gregarious atmosphere travel along as fellow travelers in the process of individuation. Bye bye.